Hey guys, I'm Nidoking. Welcome back to Space Quest 5. You may remember that last time Roger finally achieved his dream of becoming a starship captain. Although he is only the captain of a garbage ship, things will get better. He also met his future wife, Ambassador Beatrice Wankmeister, who's currently on a mission with Captain Quirk, that sleazebag. But in the meantime, we've got more important things to worry about. Like our chair. To me, the phrase, the chair, sounds a lot more ominous. Not what I'd want to call the seat I was sitting in. We'll get to know Drool and Flo a little bit later. For now, let's take a look around our ship. Yep, our ship. Ew. Yep, that's our Scotty. And apparently the work he has to do involves kicking the wall. Then again, that's how most repair people do their job. Doesn't seem to be very effective, though. Oh, there he goes. Now he's hitting it with a wrench. Alright, this room is where we'll be spending a lot of time when we're not actually on the bridge. All kinds of neat stuff. That's not a virtual reality program, that's Pong. Like the first game ever made. Alright, a voice-activated teleporter. Let's save the game and then try it out. This thing's just a hell of a lot of fun. Oh, right. Command. Hey, deep space? I'm still in the StarCon Academy Bay. Oh well. Yeah, using the transporter when you're not actually at a planet, bad idea. Of course, Cliffy seems to have an alternative use for almost everything on the ship. These various pieces of equipment are things that aren't important just yet, but you'll need to know they're here for later. Alright, anything else in this room worth looking at? Got the computer, that's nothing. Alright, that's pretty much it for this room. Hey, Cliffy went into a maintenance tube there. Oh, now that he's in there, I want to see what's in there. Well, maybe it won't be that interesting. But anyway, let's take a look around this room while I've got the chance. Gee, I wonder how anyone that made this game knows about game programmers and computers. Ah, Cliffy's toolbox. Suppose while he's occupied with that tube that I want into, we can raid his tools, see if there's anything useful. And in fact there is, but you have to find it first. Trick is, unless you've played the game before, you don't know which things are important and which aren't, so you just have to try to put everything in your inventory. And if it tells you don't need it, then you just move it aside. Obviously a parody of Sears Craftsman. And we need the welding torch. Oop, missed the fuse. Spare fuse, yoink. What do you mean not here? Yes, here. That was weird. Hope that doesn't screw with me later. And now we've got a hole punch. I don't want to know what he uses it for either, but I know what I'm going to use it for. Inventory. And I think that may be everything I need here. But I'll just look at all the stuff just to make sure. And because I've never really taken the time to look at all of it. See, I don't make the worst puns. Pizza whale. Whatever. It's a dust buster. For busting dust. Small drill. No, don't need that. Can't imagine I have any use for a spark plug either. Do they still use those at this time? Cliffy's tool of choice is a pair of pliers? Oh, it's a hammer. It can't be the same thing. Yeah, that's the one that description's for. Because the pliers don't really have anything interesting to say about them. Oh, wait a second. There's one more thing I need. Antacids. Pretty sure you can pick these up when you actually need them, but I'm taking them now anyway. And there's the big drill. Had to be one when there was a small drill. And now we get into the really techno-babbly stuff. I always thought doohickey was only one word. It sounds really nasty otherwise. There's the thingamabob. I was wondering where that had gotten to. And a screwdriver, the most inscrutable of all tools. You see, a hot glue gun sounds like it could be really useful. But again, I can't take it. So I'll go ahead and clean up the toolbox. I think if you leave without cleaning up, he just automatically does that. But there we go. Nice big open space on the left where most of the stuff we took was. And Cliffy's no longer in the pipe, so let's go in there and take a look around. We gotta get to know the ship inside and out. And it's the fuse box. Of course, you gotta save before you go screwing around with anything, but let's take a look at the schematic diagram here. That's the lighting fuse. Let's see what happens if we take it out. And everything goes dark. Alright, more fuses. Main transporter power coupling. I guess it only really matters if we're actually using the transporter at the time. VGA, EGA interlock. I mean, I know those are graphics adapters, but what would they be doing on the... Oh. And that one's the power supply, I assume. Probably don't want to disconnect that one. Well, that sounds completely useless. And finally, life support. Yeah, don't figure we need that. I guess it was kind of important. And let's see what happens if we just pull the ship's power. Pretty much the same thing. And if you do try to leave while you've still got any fuses out, he'll automatically put them back. So you can't walk around the entire ship in EGA, unfortunately. So we've also got this hatch over here, which looks important. Indeed, that's where we store all the garbage. Got to take a look in there. People throw out all sorts of useful stuff. Hey, I haven't even been given an assignment yet. And finally, we've got this lift, which goes down to one more room. Well, we've got to activate it, and Roger's currently standing in front of the red button. There we go. Alright, and there's a few things to look at in here. Most notably this pod right in the center. Can't imagine that'll be important later. Don't really want to think about how Cliffy managed to rip the seat of a spacesuit. But it's now useless. And they got cabinets with a couple of useful items. In case you didn't see what that was, we'll check out the cabinet itself. Rebreather mask. Very important if you're going to explore a planet with a non-breathable atmosphere. And I'm pretty sure there's one other cabinet with something useful in it. I think we'll be hearing more about this accident later. So this is the cabinet, I think, where the oxygen tank is. Not sure I'd like the idea of vanilla oxygen. I'd prefer just plain oxygen, but I'm going to leave that there for now. We'll pick it up when I actually need it. And an Easter egg. It's our old friend Astro Chicken, with his very old theme song. And finally, the control panel that drives all this stuff. So we've got the various buttons here. The green one, obviously the most friendly. Let's push that first. And there you have the rest of the story behind the voice-activated transporter. Kind of like the way the game throws in those little details if you bother to poke around enough. I don't know why he's shaking his head. Hit the airlock. Yet another death by being out in deep space. Obviously, there's not going to be any call to do that, ever. So we'll skip the pod rotation for now and just go back up the elevator. Rotating the pod isn't really going to do a whole lot until I actually need to use it, so it's going to be a long mission. We'll save that for later. Alright, so that's the Eureka, and I might as well close the garbage compartment. I think Cliffy will do that automatically once we get underway, but I stole some of his tools. The least I can do is close the compartment. And they're always doing something distracting when you walk into the room, but they're quick to hide it. Alright, and from here we can actually take command of the ship, but we've got a couple more buttons to press before we get too far. The green, orange, and red ones over there on the right. The green first. And this lets us talk to Cliffy, so we can actually give him commands from the captain's chair. Oh, you know what we gotta do here. And sadly, that's all we ever get out of that option. Really better get a status report, or... Oh, we can cloak the ship! Cool. I see the Eureka, and I want to paint it black. Well, good to know that the ship wasn't broken when I got it. I wonder what happens if I tell him to decloak the ship. Alright, fair enough. Well, that's everything I can order you to do, Cliffy, so I guess that's it. Yeah, I love that eyebrow wave at the end. So the orange button will call our science officer if we ever get one. Doesn't seem like much call for a science officer on a garbage ship, but who knows. And the red button brings up the self-destruct. I can choose to blow up the ship or not blow up the ship. Let's not blow up the ship. It's another thing we can take care of later when we've got a bit more time. Now, before we get underway with our mission, let's have a chat with our fellow officers here. Maybe get to know Flo a little bit. Sort of. Man, she's touchy. What happened to her before she got here? I don't know, I'm trying to get to know her. So maybe she can tell me what happened to the previous captain, at least. I don't like the way she put quotes around accidentally again. Sounds like I'm going to need to watch my back around her. What do you got to say, Drool? Well, he's optimistic. I know, I can kind of see where he's coming from with that. But certainly there's got to be something I can do to help. Guess not. So there's a couple things you can do to screw around here, but at the moment, we just need to have Flo act busy. Another one of those useless options that doesn't do anything. So what we need to do is call StarCon to get our first assignment. And, of course, get the door open. Alright, remember those names. Gangularis, PU, and Kizyrazgabai. Of course, we can ask her for a status report at any time, and she'll repeat them. And at this point, what we need to do is lay in a course and get headed to that first location. And here's our copy protection for the game. You have to look at the star chart that came with the game, or the sheet that came with the collection that just has all the numbers written out, and look up Gangularis. Or find somebody who's got a walkthrough of the game online that shows you what all the codes are. But who's going to post a video of them playing the game and typing in all the codes? It's dumb. So, with our coordinates in place, we just go to Lightspeed and head on to Gangularis. Now, for some reason, I seem to remember that Space Quest 3 originally spelled light that way, and then they changed it to L-I-G-H-T. I could be wrong about that. I might have been thinking about this game. Oh, look at that. There's an invisible ship following us. I wonder who could be on that ship. Oh, it's a killer android. I wonder what this killer android might be wanting to do. Oh, she wants to kill Roger. This is a completely unfamiliar plot twist. Still, it's pretty cool. And while we're traveling, we can have some different chats with our crew. Finding out how the refuse recovery system works. In other words, blah blah blah, giant vacuum cleaner. This is definitely more impressive than the Academy floor scrubber. So let's find out how Drool came to be here. Plus the timer doesn't run while we're talking. I saw this one in the test. He sent him a pick-me-up bouquet. Oh, that wasn't the right answer. Let's see what Flo has to say. Not a lot interesting, but we can ask her about our destination. Because gangularis is a disease. There's also a planet gingivitis. One more topic left. The spacebar? By the Zork guys? So that's about all there is to do here until we get to our destination. Fortunately, it doesn't usually take very long. I mean, the object isn't to annoy us. Just to give us an idea of the grandioseness of space. So as you approach your destination, make sure to pull back to regular speed or you'll fly right past. Again, stuff that I could show, but this is going to be a long episode if I don't get it all right. Alright, waste beacon in sight, so we just activate the RRS and suck it up. Majestic. There we go. That's our first mission successful. Oh no. Living creature in the waste compartment. Not good. Okay, time for our first suspenseful assignment. Go and find out what's living in the garbage. I'll take care of that, and hopefully get on with the rest of our garbage mission next time. And this time I mean it.